Hey friends, I'm Heidi with Heavenly Minded Home, and here as a part of our monthly collaboration with Abby from Rooted in Rest and Jessica from the Waldock Way, we are going to talk about, in my opinion, the top 5 mom must-haves for homeschooling our kiddos. So come hang out with me. We're going to enjoy a nice little time of mama chat, which I pray can be an encouragement to you all today. Welcome to Heavenly Minded Home. Now, we have been sharing for a little over 5 years here on YouTube with our little family ministry, all things homeschool, homemaker, home discipleship, living a life heavenly minded, and just enjoying and looking for and soaking up all the little bits of lovely in our days. And so I'm so excited you guys are here to join us doing this super fun Homeschool Show and Tell collab with Abby and Jessica. And it's a great topic, I think, just this idea of homeschool mom must-haves, right? Whether you are a seasoned veteran or maybe you're getting ready to kind of dip your toe into the homeschool life, this is a topic we like to talk about a lot around here. It's the whole reason why we even started a YouTube channel in the first place, was to share and encourage and help other homeschool families. Now, we're in this full-time serving families all around the globe. So thankful to the Lord for it. We have a homeschool co-op. I put together homeschool curriculum. We have a ton of stuff we're working on to hopefully have out this summer as far as helping you wherever you're at in your homeschool. So be sure to subscribe, tap that little bell notification. You guys can even sign up for our monthly newsletter. That is linked down in the description, along with a bunch of other stuff. If you're looking for homeschool help and encouragement, it is our prayer to be here to help and serve you in that. So any questions, anything, reach out, let us know. That's what we are here for. Let's go ahead today and join in with the rest of the crew. You guys can see the full playlist down below and talk about some homeschool mom must-haves. Now, I have been homeschooling for quite a while. We started with our oldest. He went to government school for kindergarten and half of first grade. He went to great schools with great teachers. We didn't believe in the system, neither did the teachers. We pulled them out. We've been homeschooling ever since. So he's been homeschooling since then. He is now a senior getting ready to graduate high school. And then our 3 girls, ages 12, 10, and 5, have been homeschooling since the very beginning. So all the homeschooly things, like, you betcha, that's where we're at. And when I was thinking about this, I said, you know what, there are some amazing tools. There's some amazing resources for homeschool moms. Absolutely. We put videos out each and every day. We have vlogged through, homeschool years. We've put so much stuff out. Again, you just peek at our main page here on YouTube and you're going to see literally like thousands of videos. There's so much on there for you guys to go and check out. So we talk about that a lot, but I was like, you know what, just like with anything else, if we don't get to the root, there's many great tools, great resources. Yes, that's wonderful. And there is absolutely a time and a place to be like, what literally are you using? What literally do you have? But if we never address the root, I feel like nothing ever gets fixed, right? Nothing ever changes if the root isn't addressed. What is the heart of the matter? So the more I kind of thought about these homeschool mom must-haves, I said, you know what? We're going to dig down to the roots, guys. It's gardening season anyways. We're getting to the roots. We're going to talk about the heart of the matter. And so what you must have as a homeschool mom, I'm not saying any of us have these perfect. I know I sure as heck don't. But these are the things that I try to refocus myself on and prioritize in my job, my role as the mom here for our family homeschool. And the first one, I think one of the biggest ones, and it can be really, really difficult to try to remember, especially when you're in the thick of it, and you're dealing with all of the, whatever the season of life is handing you, is peace. As a homeschool mom, you need to have peace about what it is that you're doing, the job that you're doing, why you're homeschooling anyways, right? Different families come with different levels of circumstances, right? Whether everybody thinks you're nuts for homeschooling, or they just don't agree with how you're homeschooling, or they're not sure, or maybe you're not sure and you're questioning yourself. You're getting to the end of the year and you're like, oh my gosh, did we do enough? Maybe you're getting ready to start and you're like, how do I even do it, right? You need to have peace. And this is why. God gave these children, whatever children they may be, biological, adopted, grandchildren, whatever your situation is, God put them in your path because He knew in His infinite wisdom that you were best equipped to nourish them, to grow them, to disciple them, to encourage them. He gave them to you. And if He was good and He has peace in that decision that like He gave these children to you, then I think I can have some peace in this, right? Listen to yourself, you and your husband, right? Listen, what is it they need? What's best for them? What truly sparks that joy and nourishes their souls and guides them to follow the Lord and live for Him, right? Like, what are those things? You know what they are. And if you're like, no, I don't, listen, observe, pray. I promise you that you are the best person for the job when it comes to training up and raising your kiddos. You are. God knows it. You need to know it. The first thing we need to have, one of the best homeschool mom must-haves, is peace. Peace in what we're doing, how we're doing it. Doesn't mean it's always perfect. Doesn't mean there isn't room for improvement and changes don't need to be made and things like that. But you are the best equipped to, in every season, work that out, figure that out, grow, change, do better, right? All of those little pieces. You've got this. The second homeschool mom must have is excitement. Oh my goodness. We want our children to have a love for learning, because if you love learning, there's nothing in your way, right? The world is your oyster. If you, as a mom, right, if we don't have some level of excitement and love for learning, how are we going to get that to our kids? And so often the topic of school is like, right? Like, I don't want to do all the worksheets, all the curriculum. It's stressful. There's so much. It's overwhelming. Like, I just want to go outside. I just want to have fun. I just want to play games. I just want to whatever. Like, we need to bring that excitement. We actually just had a conversation with our two oldest kids. We're talking about graduation and this and that. And my son was like, gosh, like, have I done enough? I don't know if I've done enough to graduate. Like, it's been so easy. And I'm like, well, yeah, because I work really hard to make sure that our homeschool is exciting and fun and relatable and real life and, all of these different things. Like, learning doesn't just happen when you're sitting in a desk, working through a book. That's one great tool and resource for learning, of course, but I work really hard to make sure it is exciting, it is fun, that we're just learning all the time and you don't even realize it because you're having a great time. And so I think it is really important to our homeschools, to our families, to our children, and even ourselves, that we bring that excitement. Now, I am not the most charismatic, overjoyed human being in the world, right? I'm not. I think I have some of that, but I'm not just like this overly giddy person. But that doesn't mean that I can't do this, right? I can still choose to look at my days with our kids, to look at our homeschool and say, I want this to be fun. I want to have a good time with my kids. Like, I want to enjoy this as much as they're, learning and getting out of it. I want it to be enjoyable. That's that level of excitement that we all can bring to our homeschools today. The third homeschool mom must-have would definitely be curiosity. Oh my goodness, we need to foster more curiosity in the world, right? Critical thinking, logic, all of that. But when we explore, when we question, when we prompt our kids to learn to question, because that is a process. I love this, starting from the time when my kids are super young. Mom, why this? Why this? Why that? Right? They have so many questions. And I go, well, why do you think? How do you think? how did it get there? Why does the caterpillar do that? Why did that person we just observed in some setting respond that way, right? I want my kids to stop and go, you're right, why did that happen? Or why does a caterpillar, or why is the weather, or whatever it may be. And the more that we prompt them to question, the more they start to question. The more that we question things, or we explore things, or we run into circumstances and we go, let's try it out. I don't know. What does happen if we bake our cookies without any baking powder or whatever, right? Like, you try those different things. I'm not saying we waste all the food, but there's definitely many things that we can do. And so when we spark that curiosity, when we leave a schedule open to say, we're just going to spend 3 hours this afternoon out on a hiking trail, walk it. Turn over rocks, look in the creeks, right? Look up in the trees, sit really still and see if any critters come moving through, right? You just start prompting these little bits of curiosity, and learning's everywhere. And we never stop learning, right? We're always learning, all of us, from the time we're, brought here by the Lord till the time he takes us home. There's always something to learn. When we're reading a book or watching a movie or going through scripture, I ask questions. I'm curious. I go, I don't know, let's look it up, right? What is this city? Let's look into it. We're watching this house, or with a show about this house being remodeled, and it's this really, really old house. And so I'm like, guys, let's look into this. Well, this is the family that owned it for 150 years. Well, who's that family? Well, they were royalty over here. Well, what's that country, right? So we just had a history lesson and a geography lesson and all these lessons all wrapped up into one because we're curious. Our family is kind of ridiculous in the way that we can't sit down to watch anything, be it a YouTube something or a documentary, anything, without sitting there for a good hour just researching it to begin with, right? We're all sitting there Googling all the pieces. I'm telling you, spark that curiosity, just really start establishing that in your home, regardless of how old your kids are. And daily school lessons are gonna write themselves, because your kids are gonna have things that they wanna go learn about. They wanna find out, they wanna test and try and work through. Curiosity is very, very important for us mamas to have every day in our homeschool. The fourth one here is very important. I mean, it's hard to pick which one's the most important, but so important. And that would be forgiveness. Forgiveness with yourself, forgiveness with your kids, forgiveness with life and its circumstances, forgiveness when expectations and reality just aren't lining up. You have to have forgiveness. It is so incredibly important. I find this so often with, so many amazing moms and grandmas who reach out, either comments or emails, and they go, oh my gosh, we've been homeschooling, we gave up because of this, or we're trying it, or, whatever stage of this that you're in. And so much of it comes down to forgiveness. Now, I always go to scripture and I see God's willingness to forgive us. When we truly repent of the wrong that we've done and we go, oh my gosh, repenting doesn't just mean saying I'm sorry. It means completely having a change of thought. I was walking that way and now I'm walking this way because I used to think that was okay. Absolutely not. I'm going over here now, right? And when we truly in our hearts go, oh my gosh, what was I doing? I did not mean to do that, or that's not what I thought would happen, or whatever it is. The Lord's happy to forgive. He goes, absolutely. My grace, my forgiveness, you got it, because I see your heart. I see the truth there. Now, why can't we do the same for ourselves? I don't always get it right. Some days, like yesterday, I was really overwhelmed, got a little cranky. I wasn't doing so hot. And luckily, my sweet husband came in and was like, honey, it's all going to be okay. Don't worry, come sit down. We're going to have a nice relaxing afternoon together. And I got through my day and everything worked out. But I have to have that forgiveness too, right? I have to be able to look at myself and say, hey, maybe the school year didn't go like I thought it would. Maybe I'm really frustrated. Maybe there's a reason, right? Maybe there's something going on. And maybe if I just took care of this or did that, it might kind of help the situation a little bit. We can look and kind of troubleshoot, but at the end of the day, we have to have forgiveness. We have to be able to forgive ourselves, forgive our children, forgive the circumstance, family, husband, friends, whatever the case may be. We have to have this forgiveness. And I think oftentimes it's much harder to forgive ourselves than it is to forgive others. So I just want us to make sure that we're remembering that, especially going through our years of homeschool. forgiveness is important. And if the Lord can find it in his heart to forgive us, we certainly should be able to extend some grace to ourselves as well. And last but not least, in my homeschool mom absolute must-haves that I think are timeless, right? It's not just for 2023, but for all the years, is contentment. We have to be content. Seeking simplicity, right? There's having some organization and routine and rhythm, like this is what I've got today, I'm gonna make the best of it. Remember, when you profess to be a follower of Christ, which I indeed do, the Lord promises those who trust in him through his son Jesus that he will give us today what we need today. You will never be going without because the Lord above all knows what you need and will provide. You pursue him, you work unto him, you give everything to him, he will provide for your each and every need. It's true. He will. He says he'll do it. He will. And so then I have to remind myself, especially for us, we're in ministry full time. We live by faith and the Lord continues to provide. But we then have to remember that if I don't have it today, right? God promises me he'll give me today what I need today. So that means if I don't have it today, I don't actually need it today. I may really want it and I may not understand, like, Lord, are you serious? How do you not see this as a need, right? Like, that happens, but then I have to, reflect and work through myself there. But the Lord promises to give us today what we need today. That's in our homeschool too. That's in our life. That's in every aspect. God doesn't like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were homeschooling, right? Like, it's not like he's confused by this. He's giving you today what you need today, and we need to find a way to be content. So that's looking at what we do have, right? I know it's great. We can sit here and plan, sure, if I had thousands of dollars per child to spend on curriculum and activities, this is what our life would look like. Well, I don't have that. We homeschool for practically nothing. That's not what I have. That's not what I've been given, that's not my lot in life, and that's okay. I can be content exactly right here where we are in this season with each child, with what they need, with our family, with my marriage, with our ministry, right? With all the different aspects, I can find contentment in that. And I can find simplicity and organization and routine and rhythm with what exactly I've been given. Now, that doesn't mean there aren't areas for improvement and adjustments and changes that we have to make and, different steps moving forward and things like that. But I still, at the root of it, have to find that contentment and trust that what I have today is what I need today because the Lord promises it. And I think when we go into our homeschool with these changes of mindsets here in these different areas, it makes a massive difference in the end result, what we get, how our homeschool is, how our life is, how our family is, how our children, the little adults that they're becoming, and all of the different facets. These core topics are going to affect all of that. And so those there would be my top 5 homeschool mom must-haves, digging in and looking at the root, the heart of the matter. With those things, you can take those 5 principles and really go to any area of your homeschool and kind of work through those metrics and say, where are we at? How are we really doing? What should I be focusing on here? What should be important to us here? And you can really look at that, pray through that, and make those adjustments as you need to really get your heart in line. And the more we do that, the more everything else honestly just starts to fall into place, to work out. I feel like a lot of the times, just like in faith, we're standing in our own way, right? I think our homeschool should look like this because all these people I follow on Instagram or I watch on YouTube, that's what they say their homeschool looks like, so ours should look just like that. That's crazy. That's not at all how that works, right? Yay for people who like to share. I mean, I share my stuff, but that doesn't mean that everybody has to look the same, right? That's why this is a homeschool show and tell. This is what I do. I don't know, maybe it's different than what you do. That's cool. We're just showing and telling, right? So you look at these different things and you go, am I in my own way? Thinking that our day has to look like this, or the kids should be responding like this, or all this curriculum should be getting done, or all of these activities should be filling our time, when maybe what your family needs in this season is togetherness, rest, simple living, right? Getting outside, enjoying the nature and life around us, finding contentment in what the Lord has placed into our laps. There's lots of ways to look through stuff and lots of things to do, but I think it's really important that we pause, at least from time to time, look at the heart of the matter, look at these roots, and then move on accordingly. So I hope that my 5 homeschool mom must-haves can be a help and an encouragement to you in your homeschool. Maybe a little different than some of the other videos, but I just thought it was really important to share kind of some thoughts here on this. Of course, if you guys want more videos along this line and see how we homeschool and simple living and seeking out the lovely and the beautiful in life and all kinds of stuff, honestly, from homeschool and homemaker and all the homey things, you guys can check out this video out here, go to our main channel. There's all kinds of stuff on there. You guys be sure to subscribe before you head out. Turn on those little bell notifications. Videos come out each and every day. Pray this can be a blessing and encouragement. I'll see you all right back here tomorrow. Bye, friends.